Hello, hello, hello. It's Max, and I'm here with Omni, and we're going to be covering minor league match day 4.
Super excited. Can't wait to see some good matchups. And, it's been an exciting start to the season. I think there's been a lot of surprises for sure and a lot of interesting matches already. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
It's going to be for sure very, very interesting. I mean, what a matchup we have today with Kaapstad versus Montreal United, two for sure title contenders. And I mean, AS Paris, that's been a machine this season against North Shore that hasn't really been that great to what their expectations were, I guess, expecting.
Yeah, but they did bounce back with a 5-1 win against Inter London, I believe, in their last match day. So, maybe that was just what they needed, to be honest. So I think you have just highlighted the two matches that, as a neutral, if you're a neutral fan, I think would be the most interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those two matches. But our first one is Cairo City versus Athenai FC. And, I think that one will be very interesting too. I think Cairo are a fun city. Oh my God, Cairo City are a fun team to watch because they have added a lot of new players in this season. Um, and I mean, so have Athenai too. So it's kind of just fun to see the new players in the league, and maybe they can get a victory here, especially since both teams here aren't really expected to maybe win the league, but could maybe sneak a win against another, team probably closer to the level.
100%. And we had Paris kick us off right there. I think this is going to be an interesting matchup. They haven't really performed the best of their ability so far, but here is Criminal on the ball, then passes it to Lord Quavius. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. To Satoshi, then to Still, then Vandersloth. I think I heard Athenai's locker room was haunted. I don't know if you read that article, but I think that Triceracop was mentioning something about it. But here's Kariki
Oh,
off the post, and Ramos picks it up.
you know what? I haven't read that article, but I will say that Alpha and I historically have lost a lot of players due to them becoming managers of other teams. So I can maybe see where the haunting maybe stems from.
I think we got to get some Ghostbusters there, see what it's about. I'd love to send a team in there, but a commentator can only do so much. But so far, it's been rather tame. But here's Sturm. Is that? I don't know. No, okay, sorry. The jersey was being a little bit weird there. I think that's just their normal jersey. I was very confused. I thought it was the goalkeeper for a second. But here's Narvaez Jr. out to Ronflex. What a beast. Just an absolute unit. But here's Ramos. Atleti Medellin product. And puts in the cross, but that's seeked out by Lorquavius. Then Ronflex again. Oh, yeah, I just can't get enough of him running around the field. It's too funny. Naj, Sturm. And there you have it.
Um,
It's your first goal of the match day.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is such a great goal. It's just the absolute disproportion of all the players on the field. I'm trying not to laugh, but Nash is so tiny.
You
It's
got
a,
me absolutely.
it's a beautiful goal.
I don't know what's better, the football or the proportions. This is why we love SSL. But here it is. Cairo again. Every single time I see Ronflex, I can't help but dying, but oh my god, what a shot.
I know Ron Flex and Ultimus make up for
Oh
the
my
lack of
god.
size in the rest of the team.
You have a dynamic dude. Oh, here's Ultimus.
Oh,
Oh.
if he
You
scored there,
can't
that would have been beautiful.
you can't get enough of the devil himself with Ronflex pairing up, CD and CDM. One playing an anchor, the one playing just a normal center back. It's just been Oh my God, what a game day so far. I think probably best duo in all of SSL minors.
Yeah, I mean potential dynamic duo. I think, it would be really fun to see those two stick together, and you know, see where they go in the future.
I agree. Criminal having a shot that's then deflected by Sinclair off for a corner. I don't know how you're gonna be able to beat Ultimus and Romflex on corners. It's gonna be a tough task. But here's Ruben.
And
And
Ultimus clearing it right there.
the Devil maybe using a little bit of his magic. Here's Santori. What a block by Canders. Another interestingly proportioned player.
And another corner for Athenai. They're going near
Ultimates.
post, but I just don't know if they'll be Ultimus there. And ooh, and
Oh,
oh my
what?
God, it was bouncing around the box there, but it looks like Kuba for
Nikki.
oh, for Nikki. Sorry, it's so small.
I know. But Panda, this is quite an It was like a tackle from Lopta that then fell into Kaniki, and then he puts it away into an empty open net. I mean, I don't know why Canders the second wasn't able to get back up quicker, but what an interesting goal.
Yeah, I mean it was like a ping pong in the box there. Players were putting their bodies on the line blocking it, but the rebound kept going, to the other team, and eventually it just landed on the foot of Kuniki, who, to be honest, I know maybe Canders was, could have maybe did a bit more, but when you're that close, it's pretty easy to score, and he put it, too far away for him to save it.
I agree. Honestly, Canders maybe got a little bit too much flack from me there, but here's Lorenzo playing it out. Kaniki again on the ball. He only has Ultimus to beat. He doesn't beat Ultimus, instead skies the ball. I think it was just his aura.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just the sheer size of Ultimus, he couldn't find a way to get the ball around him while also hitting the net.
I think that's probably the best the best way to put it. But here's Lofta again, Ron Flex, the absolute union out to Naj, and it's blocked again. I don't see why Ron Flex isn't going up for corners. I feel like he has to be a body in the box.
Yeah, Ron Flex and Ultimus in the box. That's a scary combo right there.
It would have me shaking my boots for sure. But that was a shot dragged wide. And honestly, it's been a very tame match. I feel like we've had quite a few chances, but nothing, besides the two goals, nothing incredibly clear. But here's Vandersloff. Is he going to have a shot? No, out to Morgenstern. Then Vandersloff again. Ronflex there. And Ramos takes the ball off. Vandersloff again. Canders, the second, is there.
Great save from the keeper there. And, to be honest, Athenai have been creating a lot of chances.
I have to agree. And here's Ruben.
Oh,
What a goal.
and there we go.
Kaniki again. I mean, where was Ultimus and Ronflex on that? It's a corner. They're the two biggest people in, I think, the whole of the SSL. But you can't blame them too much. That was quite a strike and quite a cross from, Kaniki on the end of that. And I think it was Ramos that put it in the ball.
Yeah, I think it was Hase, who was the marker there.
Yeah.
Maybe should have kept with his man there, but yeah, like I was saying, I thought Athenai were starting to create a bit more chances, but Cairo here on the break, and it's cleared away to Sinclair.
Or Lorenzo. Santori gets the ball, quick and small. Then Kaneki. Kaneki's been running has been running circles around Cairo's defense. And here's Ruben. Ruben, is he going to put away the shot? Yes, he
Oh,
does. Bang to Ruben.
I mean, beautiful goal, but man, I feel a little bad for Cairo there. I believe that was actually deflected. I think I don't know if it was Ron Flex. Yeah, I think it hit off of his boot. Maybe
It's
I'm
like Ron
seeing things
Flex.
though.
No, I
But
have to agree. I think yeah, Cairo's been unlucky this game. I think Ron Flex and the first goal was also kind of off of a deflection that fell to the wrong person. But here's Ruben again. Are they gonna put it away for sure? Ruben gets the ball back. Is he gonna have a shot? No, it's Morgenstern. And what a save by Canders.
Athenai though gain another corner, so another opportunity here to score.
Ruben in with to the box, but no, this is headed wide.
Because I believe the first goal was off of like a header. I mean a corner. I believe it was cleared out with a header, but then uh, kicked back into the box, ping ponged, and then the goal. So even if
I
you
do
don't,
think you're
great chance there actually from Cairo to um, try to come back. Looks like the time's escaping them now, unfortunately.
seems like Athenai is going to take it away. But yeah, it seems like Athenai have a 66% chance on scoring from a corner in those key moments. Maybe my math is a little bit off because they've for sure taken more than, what was it, 3 corners. But anyway, Athenai for sure going to win it now. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's not about, how efficient you are if you can create more chances, a lot more chances than the other team. I think
I
we
think,
see that
yeah,
with how fast players are old. Um, a lot of it is just not necessarily being the more technical player, but just being there first.
I agree 100%. And here it is, Athenai winning 3-1. I think Cairo has had a very slow start to the season so far.
Yeah, it was a really good win for Athenai. I mean, it does say they, had over 3 XG to Cairo's 1.08. So, I mean, they did create a lot more chances. They had 17 shots to 11 and 9 on target to 4. And they even had like 64% possession. So they did dominate a lot of the game, to be fair. I think it's just the way they scored that seemed a bit maybe unlucky
Lucky.
towards Cairo.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't want
I
to say
have to agree.
fluky, but unlucky.
Yeah. It was for sure not a fluke game. I mean, Athenai dominated with an asymmetric 4-4-2. Santori kind of himself on the left. I guess he was I saw him out to the wing a lot. I wouldn't say that he was drifting inwards. But yeah, I don't think it was a fluke win whatsoever. I think that this is a sure a deserved win.
And I think Athenai will be very happy with the 3 points here. I mean, I think, I can't recall off the top of my head where they're at, but they have won quite a few games, or at least one. They've had a pretty good season so far.
I have to agree. I think that I wouldn't say yet challenges for the title because I think I've for sure seen stronger teams, but they do look like they could make a little bit of a run for it later on to the season with the way that they've been playing so far. But here's our first key matchup of the day, would you say? AS Paris versus North Shore United.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about this game. I think it'll kind of show where both of these clubs are. Um, I think in some ways Perry, I believe only 2 seasons ago, they were bottom of the minor leagues, and now they're potentially one of the top teams. And reversely, North Shore, they didn't win last season, but they have been routinely a top club. They've won a lot. Um, I'm pretty sure they've even won an SLSL Cup. I think they're the only minor team to do so. So, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. But they find themselves in sixth position, which I don't think is a position they're familiar with, to be honest. So, it'll be really interesting to see because they have come back with a win in their last game, and it was a pretty convincing win. But they'll
I do
have to
have to agree.
convince us against Perry, which will be a bigger test.
100%. I did see that Mitadira put out a little bit of an article, or I guess had an interview with a reporter where he was quite upset at the current form that they're at so early into the season. But I mean, we're 3 match days in. There's no saying that North Shore can't make a wonderful comeback. AS Paris looks like a machine, so this is going to be an interesting matchup, especially with the 5-back that AS Paris runs. But here is Rashford playing it out to Ball. Ball is another very interesting player to watch so far this season. Out to O'Sullivan. No. Out to Mithadiero. Has a couple players making runs. That looks a little bit offside, but Kinezovic gets saved by Kerrigan. But yes, it was offsides.
Yeah, no, good opportunity there for North Shore. And today it looks like they're playing an interesting 4-4-2 with two DMs, a right mid, and Derbatov, a goal there off of the corner.
Doing a little bit of a boogie right there. It was a thundering header for sure. Off of a corner from Rashford the third. I mean, so far they're, I guess, asymmetric or a little bit irregular. 4-4-2's been working so far.
Yeah, and I mean maybe this is the change they needed to make to bring more success to their club. Maybe this is I honestly can't recall what they played against Inter London, so my apologies. Maybe this is what they used, and this is what they're trying to play now. Oh,
I think Dybala wants something to say about that. He's been
almost.
outstanding so far. Him and Belmont.
I honestly thought that was a goal, but then I realized it wasn't.
I did too. It was right off the line, I think.
I was like, why no goal thing go up? And our goal.
Why no big white banner? But
Yeah.
here's Mitadiero. North Shore on the attack again. Derbatov making a run.
Oh,
Has a shot. But Kerrigan carries it away. Rashford with the corner. Belmont going to have a head to it. Yes, he does. But again, Kerrigan with another thunder stop. Rashford going to have his, second corner in a row. Has O'Sullivan quite open. But no, he's going to, go straight into the hands of Kerrigan.
he rushed out for that. It was like my ball.
He did not want to wait for that ball to find its way to another head. But oh my God, here it is. Hard.
Should ran out for that one.
Very slow off his line. Gerard with a thunderous header. I mean, North Shore United is running rampant so far. AS Paris does not look like the machine that they've been all season.
That was it. That was a good one. Way out of the reach from the keeper on like the one before. That looked like he got up pretty high for that, to be honest. But, did well to direct it just out of the way of the keeper. Another corner. Corner FC, but unfortunately I'm able to this time. Actually,
I have, yeah. And that's half. Corner FC, I think, is a good way to put it. But North Shore has been looking fantastic so far. I mean, Derbatov has been making quite a few runs into the back, behind the center backs. Rashford has been outstanding so far with 2 assists. And Jean Gerard, a great center back so far. And AS Paris looks a little bit lost.
yeah, I mean, to get corners, you have to, get the ball in the other half. Like you don't just get gifted them. Obviously, the reason they got so many corners is because they were so dangerous. So.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
But Paris has had, I guess, one real chance with Belmont and then Dybala unable to equalize. But here they are again. Aoi losing the ball. But, I mean, it's a 2-0 lead. I think I've said this probably 50 times at this point. 2-0 is probably the worst lead to have because one goal and the opposing team's right back in it.
Yeah, and I mean, this is definitely not the team to count out. Perry are really good, and they've definitely, you know, they're capable, as we can see.
The
Almost
ball on the ball, getting his
getting a
shot
chance
block.
right
But what a
there. Ooh,
shot!
you're right. He really doesn't want to lose.
I've been impressed with Dybala so far this season, and not only because I like the other Dybala, but I mean the North Shore goalkeeper for sure made no mistakes about that. Arrogant with the ball again. He's
That
been all
was
right this game.
that was a unique shot angle.
Sometimes you gotta try them. I mean, when you have the shot, you gotta take it, and it looked like the ball was going out of bounds, so it's to put some on target than nothing, and just let it go for a goal kick. But here's Kerrigan again, out to head looking for a pass.
Yeah, I mean that's how you get Roberto Carlos's goal. If you didn't ever try that,
True.
would never happen. And I'm pretty
And
sure he
to
was out of bounds.
yeah, he did look quite out of bounds. But here's Lizard. I mean, Perry's playing a very patient game. But as I say that, Havenich
Oh,
out to Belmont, 2-1.
and the comeback is on. Belmont also with a knock it appears. So, interesting to see, but clearly not holding them back enough to prevent them from scoring that goal.
Belmont is another star, I think, so far early into this season. And, you know, you're right back into it. You're right back into it 2-1. But here comes North Shore United. Out to Kanevicic. I'm for sure saying that wrong, and I really do apologize. Out to Chris Warwick. But it gets picked up by Ace Paris. The ball is trying to make the. But yeah, Belmont does seem to have a knock, but it doesn't seem to be bothering him too much. Out to Lizard. Almost could not. Oh, but now he does find the pass to the ball. The ball running down the wing. Is he going to have Belmont again? No, he has Wince instead. Wince is going to play back, and then it's cleared away from no other than Jean Girard. Oh, but here's how. Ooh. Another block shot. And I think. Yep, that's the end of that action.
Yeah, they're really trying to get that second goal, but it looks like counter's on right now for North Shore United.
Sullivan passes it back to Chris Warwick. Is he going to have a shot? Yes, he does. What a goal! Chris Warwick!
That's a goal. Holy.
20 yards
Well, I want
out.
to see a
Beating the goalkeeper
replay of
like
that.
that.
That was beautiful. That was like perfectly in the corner.
I mean, with that much space, you got to take that shot, don't you? Wince a little bit
Oh,
too slow to close him down.
that was
Kerrigan,
so good.
no chance. What a goal.
That's like a dagger in the heart for Perry, who are ahead on XG.
Here's the ball. No, it's again cleared. But Aoi trying to make the most of it. I mean, it's still a 2-goal lead. Time's running out, but you always have a chance when you're pairs. Here's Lizard. Is he going to put it across? Oh, it's to the ball now. The ref does not call a pen, but it's shot wide by Wince. Oh,
It's a
sorry, it was
corner,
blocked.
actually. Yeah. I
I
thought it
thought
was wide too, but
yeah.
the ball is
Someone must have
going
gotten in
towards
touch
the
with it.
corner. Oh, I think Slav had almost. I think it was Slav who had gone onto that. But was unable to direct it on that.
I think Aegis asked me
Another
this question
corner.
last week. But when you think of Slabhead, who do you think of?
Um, Harry Maguire.
I said the same thing. I think who did he say again? Oh yeah,
Wasn't
he told me Van Arden not Van Ardenholm, Van Heck, sorry, from Brighton. But here's Habanic headed away by
wasn't
Jean Girard. Summerwine. Yeah, sorry. What were you saying? I did not mean to cut you off. As this
No,
chance
it's
does not
okay.
seem.
I was just gonna say, didn't they mean like Harry Maguire about like Slav head for like, you know,
His big
isn't that
forehead.
why he was like hyped up in the first place before he went to Man United?
I
Was
think
because of
so.
his
I
head?
think so. I mean,
Oh
he
shoot,
had quite.
Belmont's injured. It looks like it's a super sub that's gonna be coming on. We can see the
Yeah,
simmer
it
here
looks like
really
it.
deliberating.
Very confused, but
You know
it
what? That's
seems like a
fair.
minute.
That's a better decision actually. They put the player
Yeah,
on. You know what? Who needs a
get some real minutes.
honestly, hot take positions don't really matter. Attributes do.
That's a that's a hot take for sure. I mean, I guess with the teams and the level of knowledge that they have of their tactics at this point, yes, it really is just attributes that matter.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Baggio was playing completely out of position all last year, and he got like average of 7.0 something rating. And he got like
Damn,
goals and assists. If your player can play the position, they'll play the position well. And wow,
I
sorry, that
can't
was
argue
full
with
time.
that.
Um,
Yeah,
I'm really surprised because, you know, Perry actually arguably like created more chances in the game, but they weren't on target. I mean, they had 13 shots to 11, but only 3 to 5 on target. And obviously, North Shore were a lot more clinical tonight. I mean, not only did they score 3 goals, but it was from 3 different players, and wildly 2 of them were from corners. So I mean, as I could, if I were them, I'd feel hard done by. You know, I understand. I'm pretty sure Seoul and Catalonia have conceded several goals from corners this season. It sucks, but you know, they'll regroup, and I can see Perry coming back stronger. And reversely, I wonder if this is the resurgence of North Shore United. I mean, really poor start to the season with 2 losses, but they've come back strong with 2 wins.
I have to agree 100%. And I think that I think AS Paris really does run through the Bala Belmont Aoi kind of trio, and the ball and Aoi, I have to give all the props to Belmont. He's performed every single game of the season, but the ball and Aoi, I think for me at least, a little bit disappointing. But North Shore United, they're a strong team. But here we are with Montreal versus Caapstad. I think the game of this match day.
Yeah, I agree. I think these 2 teams are probably the top 2 teams, you know, outside of I don't know. The last 2 were 2 top teams too, but like Montreal's the best team in the league. And if Capstad win, they'll be first. Pretty much as simple as that. If they draw, Montreal will maintain their position up top. And they're also, I believe, both undefeated with Capstad having had a draw, which is why they're lower by 2 points.
I do agree, and I think I've been seeing some, maybe not articles, but maybe some comment there by Dorbridge saying that Montreal wants to go invincible. So this is an important game. If they can win or at least get a draw here, the invincible season is still on. As you said, Montreal, an extremely strong team, having just won the season 19 minor league title. But here, Capstad is making quite a run really early into the game. Calderon has gonna have a shot, but
Oh,
Williams is there to block it away.
I'll say it there.
Into Benz. Dobra is quite open, but is he gonna find? No, he goes to Dobra. Bull gets the ball off. Bull is rapid. Bull is rapid. Out to Oh, no, does not go to Dobrich.
Rapid, but the pass wasn't accurate.
Unfortunately, but here is King Takahashi, who had quite the offseason, kind of redistributing his whole personality, his whole position, everything, all of his attributes. And I'm not going to pronounce that. I don't think I could. Skavgard. Montreal
Oh,
gets the ball taken off of them. Here Capstad is. Tortellini. I'm not going to pronounce.
Oh, it's
How would you say
at
that?
like 2%. At like
Oh,
2%?
okay. At like 2%. We're gonna go with that. Yeah, yeah. That's it. That's it. At like 2%. Sorry, from the small words, I really couldn't see much. And at like 2% again with the ball, seems like they're gonna be an important player so far. But DeWitt, that's a hunt. Back to DeWitt. DeWitt to Skovgaard. You have two different Skovgaards on two different teams. Quite interesting. Here's Obranka.
I'm
I
pretty
wonder if they're
sure
really
there's a
in. I'm not gonna
third
lie.
too.
There is. I mean, it's
Yeah, I
just like the
think so.
Radford universe. Like here's Obranka. That's a Tortellini. Calderon. Kaapstad really trying to put on the pressure. Peterson. Millwall. But here it is.
Oh,
Xavier loses his man, and Dobra nets in the first goal of the match day. Fuck. Match. Oh, quite a few different emotions there.
and you know, it was great team play. Working down the left wing here, plays it to Fantoben's beautiful cross, and honestly, really good to come across the Dobra to come across the defender and tap it in. It's actually harder than it looks.
Dobra,
Bull
quite
on the
the
corner.
prospect. Here's
It was
Bull.
near post.
Takahashi's gonna run out to get that. Is this? Yes, it is over. Unfortunately. Here's King again. Takahashi. Are they gonna put something into the box? Out to Millwall. Is Millwall gonna have a shot? But no, Bull.
Oh,
Bull gets
oh,
blocked. Millwall loses out in a header, and it comes back to Peterson all the way in Montreal's own half. So far, I mean, with that chance, but Montreal's looked very poor so far, in my opinion. Here's Hunt,
uh,
though, on the corner. Out to Calderon. It's saved by Williams. So far, Montreal's man of the match. Hunt again. Two back-to-back corners. Are they going to make anything go straight into the box?
oh,
That's a Ashworth.
oh,
Lewis
Ashworth.
Ashworth. What a goal.
Beautiful goal. Just when you think were clearing away the danger, he comes out of nowhere and just smashes that home.
I did
Oh, actually, it
see.
was a pass back. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
That was actually a pass back from.
I did see that Lewis Ashworth has a quite the pregame ritual where he goes into the garage of Capstat and throws flaming darts at Blackwood's the Fifth's face portrait. So it clearly the pregame ritual has been working so far. But here it is, Calderon. Calderon out wide. Is he gonna put in a cross? He's gonna try to, but and it's
Oh,
3-0 at like
I like
2%.
2%. We got it.
Much like my phone. What a goal!
No, that was also another attack from the left side, and another cross. So kind of interesting to see, maybe Montreal's right flank sign of weakness. And actually, if you look at their heat map, their right back is slightly further ahead of their left back. So maybe that is why they're exploiting that side.
Yeah, it's been an interesting performance for Montreal first, especially with how they were touted so early into the season. But it seems like that undefeated streak is gonna be gone. But you still have a second half to go, and if one team can score three, who says that the second can't? But yeah, the right back King, who's had a really good first start to the season, is not performing the best today.
Yeah, at 6.2, you can tell that's kind of been the area where they've been targeting specifically. Maybe I don't know their specific overall abilities, but maybe a easy one-on-one target for their left winger and left winger.
I'd have to agree, but here comes some subs. I'm interested to see. But yeah, Montreal, I have to say I've been disappointed so far. I think them and Paris have not really lived up to this match day 4. But it's just match day 4. We have quite a few games to go in this season. So an early deficit does not mean much, especially in the SSL.
Well, I mean they could surprise us. they did do really well against Seoul. I mean, they came well. It was a pretty tight game, and then they scored 2 goals like pretty late on. So because it was
Here's
3-3 at
Kupinas.
one point,
Yeah,
but I think they're always capable of coming back. But 3-0 is the bit of a climb.
100%. Especially when Kupinas and all of Kaapstad is putting in quite an effort to make sure that this game stays dead, especially for Montreal. But they're trying to play it out of the bag still. I mean, 3-0. You got to question some of the manager's choices. But here's Xavier, who hasn't had the best game so far, out to Skovgard. Skovgard back to Williams. Now plays it long, but unfortunately it falls to no one. Bull is trying to press. Sinclair really trying to make the run. Ball.
Yeah, no, that was a really beautiful press, to be honest. It was really well organized, but they lose the ball here to
Millwall down.
Montreal. Oh, and there's Heather
2-1.
Bull uh grabbing one back, so they're only 2-0 down. And to be honest, it's only the 57th minute, so it's basically another 45 minutes to play.
I have to agree. It's very early into the second half. And Bull, I guess you would say maybe making up for the counter that they lost. And now it's 3-1. Millwall seems to be all right. I did see him go down early into that play. But yeah, now Ashworth plays it out to Skovgard. Calderon. Gonna play to Tortellini. Gonna play it back to Obranca. Why don't you also click? Oh, here's Skovgard.
Oh,
Skovgard has it out to Dobrich. But now plays Millwall. The King.
oh,
King.
oh. Kane could have
What a
made up
save.
for his poor performance, but was saved.
I mean, they would have shut me right up, but unfortunately, I would like to say that I'm still correct on my assessment on their performance so far, but what a dangerous ball into the box. Now Capstad have the counter, but they're brought down by Bull. Does
That's
Bull only get a
yellow.
yellow? Not booked, surprisingly.
Wait, really? How's that not yellow?
I'd have
Man,
to say,
I'm not
pulling,
gonna lie,
yeah,
that's kind of a bad
questionable.
decision.
I
Got
have to
poor ref in
agree.
there.
Obranca, now to Hunt. Bull does now have a yellow card. I think that was from a different play, though. But they could have been sent off by now. It's very interesting to see that. But now, out to Kupinas. Kupinas back to Hall. Hall taking their sweet time. What a mistake!
Oh
Is Siegler going
no,
to put it away? He's
no,
3-2!
no!
What a
That's
mistake!
two. That's 2 goals they've conceded from playing out from the back. Look at this. I don't know what Hall was thinking here. Oh no. Oh man. I will say his players should have, maybe done a bit more to provide themselves those options by going a bit wider and deeper, but that's some poor decision making from the goalie.
I
Must have
have to
had a
agree,
bit
but
of
here's
a
Scottbar that
brain
loses
fart.
it. Kupinas,
Oh,
off the post! Cleared
oh.
away. We have a game on our hands.
Yeah, and just like that, we have a game on our hand. From 3
3-0 to
nothing to
3-2.
3-2.
But here's another
Hall.
highlight. What a pass to Phantom Benz, but again wide. I mean, you gotta put it away at that point. It's 3-2. Seems like Cavs is not letting their foot off the gas. Wants to make sure that they retain the win. But here is Montreal. Williams plays it long, but no, it falls to Hunt. Hunt to Ashworth. Lewis Ashworth makes it
Oh,
4-2. I think that's game over.
with 10 minutes remaining, you never know, but it's definitely, especially with the momentum shift, it'll be hard, I believe, for Montreal to come back.
You have to ask. I mean, what is Williams doing with that kind of ball out to basically no one? And the defense, I mean, King has not been having the greatest game. I think Xavier's been quite poor, even though he has a 6.7 rating. But here's Fantoben's gonna put in a cross. But no, it goes
Yeah,
out to Tortellini. Anto bends. It's
Oh,
5 still. It's game over. 110%.
they just let him walk in there.
The door right open for him.
Like, yeah, they clear it. They, yeah, he gets past it, and he kind of just ran in there. And look, it's King. He should be stepping up a lot sooner to try to stop that. And wow, just
The
like
co-
that, Caps have put themselves way ahead again.
I mean, it's been absolutely dominance from Kaapstad. Ashworth's quite interesting pre-match ritual clearly is paying off. And yeah, I'd have to say King, very poor performance, but I think it's really the whole of the defense. You can't really just single them out. But here comes Bull. Is Bull going to make it 5-3? Nope. It goes right outside of the near post. But here's a corner. I mean, I don't know. It's too late for anything to really happen. You're 3 goals down, but Skovgard's going to try to make the deficit a little bit more forgiving because goal difference is still very important. Out for another corner.
I think so.
The
Bull's like, I'm
table
coming,
is
don't
off of.
worry. Running from one side to the other.
But here's
Um,
Hall picking it up.
it must be the worst. You take a corner, goes back out on the other side.
You got to make the full width of the pitch run to make it onto the other side.
It's like 90 minutes plus added time. It's like just blow a ref, whistle ref.
You're 3
And
0
he does.
down, but
They do.
he he puts Montreal out of their misery.
And yeah, that was a weird game. I mean, Kapstad put themselves way out of reach. You thought the game was over. Then out of nowhere, Montreal scored too. And then Kapstad put themselves up again by 3. And yeah, I mean, I think we thought it would be competitive in a different way. But I guess it was competitive in some ways, if that makes sense.
I don't think you could put that any more perfectly. I think that we were expecting a very different game, maybe a little bit closer in scoreline, maybe a 4-3 match, or maybe even a 2-1, depending on how many chances they had. But Montreal seemed out of sorts. But Cav said, I mean, questionable goalkeeping, questionable defense for a little bit. But Montreal are going to have to see if they can bounce back from this. But Cavs at top of the table.
And I'm not gonna lie, the next match day, I have major deja vu, which is quite unusual because one of the teams, it's their inaugural season. So I don't think they've even faced Seoul yet. But that's our next game where it's Rapid Magyar versus Rapid Magyar SC versus Seoul Mythic FC. And yeah, I mean, basically, tale of two tapes. Seoul's been around since, I guess. I mean, they're rebranded, so they rebranded in, I believe, season 2 or 3. Before that, they
Mhm.
were Rio FC.
Wow.
And reversely, they're facing the inaugural team of Rapid Magnar SC. So brand new team versus quite an old team. I think the only other teams older is like Cairo, Athenai, and Inner London, who are all three original SSL teams.
That I did not know. But do you think you can enlighten us on what the Soul badge is of? Because I've always had questions of that.
I should know. But to be honest, I don't. I was not the one that rebranded them. And back then, Catalonia was the only team. There were no organizations. So I only really can explain my own club, Catalonia. Um,
That's fair.
but I feel like there's an article deep, deep down. Probably the first article that introduces them. And maybe I'll read that up. and maybe if I do another minor league thing, I'll explain it. Because you know what, I should probably know a little bit more too.
I'm left a little bit disappointed, especially coming from, the organizational manager, but nonetheless, it's not your fault. It's an old club, and we do have quite a few SSL historians. But here comes, oh, it was Magyar, but now Blackwood. Lasso, Red Lasso is going to find Diaby Bar. Bar, he's going to put it away,
Oh
but no, it's stopped
no!
by Von Bismarck.
Totally not emotionally invested in this. That was a good chance by Seoul City, but a really, really excellent save there by Bismarck, Von Bismarck.
Kowalski Kowalski, then to Dehiron. Now taking outside. Just a tidbit about
Runners.
Blackwood. Apparently, he's being haunted by a demon called A Dekan, is what I've read so far. But here's Panda. No, it was a block shot now for a corner.
Yeah, Blackwood has a lot of demons. Let's just say that. But but extremely talented footballer nonetheless. Complex character, but you know, the team really likes him. He's done really well, really gelled with the team, added a little bit of personality to it, and yeah, we're happy to have him. Oh, looks
A
like
block by Asprey.
Osprey with the parry over the net there.
Justin Nissen. But yes, I have to say Blackwood is probably one of my favorite characters of the SSL kind of universe and league. But oh my god, what a goal! But no, it does not count, unfortunately.
That was such a banger that doesn't count. That looked like it
Wait,
hit
was
like
that
top bar and went down.
was that offsides at first?
Yeah, I think the pass before the pass was also. Oh,
But here's Ibrahimovic. It's now
is
1
that
nil Seoul,
offside?
and this one's gonna count.
Oh my God, that one counted. I thought that was offside.
No, no, no. This one seems like it's gonna count, and what an angle to score from.
Is it Blackwood with the assist too? Oh no,
No,
he plays it to Panda.
and
Honestly, Panda coming off of a like spectacular game. I believe they got 2 goals and an assist against Montreal. So yeah, really excited to see them producing for us here. Oh
oh,
no,
but here's Justinson. Is this one gonna count? It seems like it
yeah,
is.
no,
It's
that was
1-1.
I think that was deflected off of Stain there. I can't really need to see a replay, but that looked like it was a deflected pass or
Blackwood
cross.
unable to cut out the pass. But
Oh
yeah, it
yeah,
does
hit
seem
off
like
Blackwood.
deflected. I'd say the moral of the match today has to be deflections. We've seen so many so far in every single game, and we still have one left.
Yeah, I mean it is a minor league, so it's not too surprising to see a little bit of maybe ball bouncing around all over the place. Good attempt there by Primaris, almost gained the free kick there, but just on the opposite side of the post.
But here's
Oh,
Ibrahimovic. He's gonna make it
Ibrahimovic
2-1. But no, Von
Ari is
Bismarck
gonna put
doesn't
it
even give it.
completely wide.
Quite a miss, unfortunately.
Rare miss from Ibrahimovic. I believe they were the
There,
top, sorry, not the top, the second top goal scorer in the academy last year. Oh,
and with
trying
another shot.
trying already to become a golden boot in the minor league in their rookie season.
Diaby Bar out to Brad Lasso. I think that Seoul is probably the most populated with new academy prospects, which is very fun to see, especially since Dehiron and Diaby Bar have both had really great seasons coming out of Atletico Madrid, not Madrid, Medellin, making quite a second half of the season. But
Ooh,
here's Ibrahimovic
oh,
again putting it wide.
it's okay. They're creating lots of chances in this game. Um, just a matter of finishing them, it seems. Although now they have to defend. Or, well,
Felt
looks
like it
like they
was the
have the
same
ball
with
actually
Paris.
just build out.
Here's Blackwood. That's a Panda. Panda. Is the link up there with
Oh,
Ibrahimovic? No, he's gonna link up with Blackwood, and then Walker puts
whoa.
it way over.
But yeah, just off the top of my head, there's Osprey, there's Barr, there's Ibrahimovic, there's Blackwood, there's Lasso, there's Kasawa, and Giron. So that's like seven rookies, I believe, on the field.
Which
7 out of
is
11.
I don't even think that Magyar has that many. I think that quite a few are from the expansion draft. But here's Dehiron. Gonna put in a cross, I think. No, he goes for goal. But
Oh,
here, Von Bismarck parries it wide.
should be called the Soul 7. What am I gonna call
That's a new name. I'm keeping that too.
them? The Soul 7.
Soul
Blackwood
7.
on the ball, one of the Soul 7.
Stain puts it over. The Soul 7, write that in the headlines tomorrow. I mean, that's a fantastic name.
Yeah, I mean, first they gotta win this game. Well, I guess if they
Of course.
lose, you could still put Soul 7, but maybe in more negative headline.
Soul
Soul
7 does
7
not
lets Soul
perform.
down. Yeah.
Kowalski, one of the Soul 7. That's a Lasso, another one. Dehiron, Soul 7 link up. Back to Lasso. Gets stolen by Walker. I don't believe that he's one of them. Out to Blackwood.
Blackwood,
Not
though.
to Panda. Red Lasso.
Lasso.
Post it
Oh,
over. Soul can't finish their chances. It's quite unfortunate.
yeah, I mean, oh my God, 2.24 XG, 15 shots to 6, 6 on target to 3. And they do have 57% possession, sorry, to 43. Um, really interesting performance so far. I think I think maybe a little disappointing for Seoul because I think they have been the better team, but if they keep creating chances like they have been, I can see them finishing the the W. But the tale of two halves, so we'll see, how they come out and how Magyar come out. And yeah, I'm excited to see the second half.
Me too, especially since we have on Magyar Gimmithius, which I don't know if you've seen his post draft talk with a reporter, but it's pretty clear to me that we're just living in his league with the kind of aura that he has. Almost, I don't know if you've ever watched or read the books of the boys, but very similar to Homelander. But here's Blackwood again. Back to Asprey. Out to Bread Lasso. Soul 7 link up, but Walker's there trying to make sure that he can compete with the young boys, but out to Panda. But no, it's played back to Von Bismarck and then cleared.
It's funny because Walker's like literally only 1 year older than them. He seems so
No,
young.
no offense to calling him old. He's for sure not. Oh my God, what a shot! But no, this
Well,
is again parried
that
wide
was
by
a
Von
that was a
Bismarck.
beautiful save. Von Von Bismarck is the reason why this game's a draw. How many good saves has
100%.
he made? He's made some really good saves.
At least 5 at this point.
Yeah, like I can think of 3 off the top of my head.
But here's
Ibrahimovic,
Walk. Hmm.
you know, now I think is the time where you think if he scored one of those two, chances he put well wide, could be a different game. But Seoul is still on the attack right now. Bar bringing
That's
it.
Walker.
Oh,
It's a
is that pen?
penalty.
That's a pen. That's a pen.
Stonewall penalty.
Ibrahimovic.
Is he gonna be able to make up for his missed chances before Ibrahimovic off the
No,
post and then
no,
cleared
off the
away?
crossbar.
It stays 1-1. Ibrahimovic having a game to forget.
Oh no. Out to Bar though. Oh, and he gives it away to Budo. Budo?
Yeah, Budo. And then Bar picks it back up, Kowalski, and that was the end of that action. But oh my
Wow,
God, what a miss!
3.10 actually, though 0.9.
We still
Like
have around
oh,
35 minutes.
and it feels like it's been the tail of the tape for both, Catalonia and Seoul this season. Unable to really perform to their XG.
100%. You need those lethal finishers. Ibrahimovic is typically a pretty lethal finisher. Honestly, I think I'm very surprised by his performance today. He's gonna have to go back to the drawing book. Trying to get out his thoughts. I think that's probably the drawing book that he's looking for. But here's Scott with a shot, and
Oh,
it goes wide.
I really think it shows the lack of experience. I don't really know off the top of my head, but I believe Seoul's one of the youngest in the league. Um, so a lot of young players, maybe they're fast, they're physical, but maybe just mentally aren't quite as experienced and you know as composed and as maybe don't quite have as developed football IQ as maybe some of the older players in the league.
For sure.
And right there, example, Von Bismarck, really good read of the game there to come pick it up. And maybe we don't see that from Osprey. I'm not saying he wouldn't do that. I'm just saying maybe he doesn't see that quite yet.
But here's
And
Panda. Is he gonna have it?
oh,
It's 2-1.
Panda! Was that from Bar, I believe? The
I think
crossfield
that was.
switch play.
I think that
Beautiful.
was. Or no, was that from? Yes,
Yeah,
that
no, it's
was
Bar.
from Bar. What a ball! I mean, finding the man like that, and I think Bon Bismarck really not positioning himself well, and Panda making no mistake this time. Ibrahimovic was not able to put it to 2-1, but Panda was.
Yeah, we've been kind of singing his praises, but and for good reason. But I think on that occasion, maybe like you said, wasn't quite ready for it, and thus wasn't in a position well. But you would expect a little bit
3-1
more. And oh my God,
Panda.
Panda with another far post goal right there.
Panda does not want to make any mistakes. He wants the league to know that when Ibrahimovic does not appear, Panda's there on the bamboo stick to make it 3-1. And at this point, Seoul, you're going to have to find quite a way to break them down. The Seoul 7, finding a way to make sure that Seoul comes out with all 3 points.
Looked a little offside, but it was real tight, whether it was on or off. But I don't think Seoul will complain whatsoever.
Quick fire double for sure. But here's Lynn DeSoto playing it all the way back to Von Bismarck. I think Von Bismarck has to be very disappointed with the way that the game has played out. But here's Blackwood out to Panda. Panda's to Ibrahimovic. Is he going to make it 2? Oh, it's 4-1 now. Ibrahimovic releasing all the stress from that penalty miss. And now it's 4-1.
Yeah, that one will definitely be one that Von Bismarck will want back. Because it literally like hits him and goes in. It looks like, or did that go
Look at the
in
legs.
between his legs and hit his bum as he was going down and and then deflected off his freaking butt and go in the net?
It looks like it did. That's an unfortunate
That's
goal to
gotta
concede.
suck. That's
No,
gotta
that
suck.
was 100%. But Ibrahimovic and Seoul and the Seoul 7 altogether are not going to be too upset. But here's Van Gerritsen. Ashby blocks it away. We've been singing Von Bismarck's praises, but Ashby, although he hasn't had much to deal with, has been doing quite well for himself this game.
Yeah, sorry, Osprey with oh no, he didn't. Never mind. But yeah, no, he's been doing really well. You know, really excited to join the team, and we're all really excited to have him. As you can see there, even likes to, you know, kick the ball too. He's good with his feet, which is really important here.
Thank you, Rowan, trying to stop Stamp, but
Ooh.
it gets cleared away out to Panda. Brad Lasso, is the counter? It's out to Panda again from Bar. Bar, is he going to find Ibrahimovic? No, he finds Brad
Is
Lasso.
that?
How's that not a pen?
Oh,
Was
I don't know
that a
if it was
dive
advantage
or
played there. Yeah, I don't know if it was a dive or advantage was played or what, but I mean, if it was a dive, it
a
would have been
yellow
called
for the
and like yeah,
diver?
yellow. But I don't.
That
And Lasso was on a yellow, so he would have been red carded.
yep. Questionable refereeing is what I have to say. First with the semi-offside goal that the referee quite didn't see, but here is sharp. Stamp? Sorry. Soda now. Lind. There's 3 minutes left. Then plus the added time, but it looks like Seoul's gonna have all 3 points. Scott now. Scott's gonna play in the cross. Justin is
Oh,
in. Over.
yeah, I mean they're trying to create some chances, and it's just it's not going too well for them. I think yeah, the final whistle. I I really
All
think
over.
that Seoul played the better game, and they were unlucky, and then it kind of balanced out at the end there for them. Um, but it was they did produce chances as well. Like they did deserve their goal, and they could have scored more. Osprey definitely played pretty well. There was good defensive efforts, as you could see. Uh, Kawasaki and Stangana 7-3 and 7 respectively. And Red Panda 2 goals, 2 assists, a perfect 10 rating, which is hard to see. Really good performance from them. And a good comeback for Seoul, who lost their last game 5-3 to Montreal. But looking ahead to the next match, um,
Inter
you
London.
have any? Yeah, you have any thoughts on that one?
Yeah. I have to give another quick shout out to Red Panda and of course the Soul 7 with the I mean once you start battering down the goalkeeper that much, Von Bismarck really couldn't say much and it ended 4-1, so I think it's 100% deserved. But now to Inter London, sorry, and Krung Thep, another expansion team. They've had a slow start to the season, but their preseason left a lot of excitement, and I don't think that they've really matched it the same way. Inter London is also another club that has been iffy, and Eindhoven is a player that I remember from Inter London that did impress even when the rest of the team didn't. So I'm excited to see how these teams compete.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the first match where I believe both of these teams are, you know, maybe not going to necessarily, well, maybe aren't necessarily expected to be the best team in the league, and these will be the type of games where they can, hope to get a point. Although they haven't been like terrible by any means.
Of course.
I believe, you know, they're seventh and eighth respectively, but could change tonight with a win, you know, and it could, boost one of these teams' forms. It's the one thing is like the SSL is quite a short season. I think 18 games now, and it was 14 before.
Yep.
And like a
But
regular like Premier League's like what, like 38, 39. I should know this, but I don't. I don't watch
38.
Premier League.
That's fair.
And like I think form matters more because of the less amount of games. So if you're in good form, oof, sorry, another really good chance there. I think that really boosts your like opportunity to win. Whereas if you started off with like a loss or two, like North Shore United, not saying they're not going to win the league, but like it's going to be harder for them. Oh,
Tom
good.
Patterson 1
Yeah,
0.
sorry. Good good goal from Patterson.
Wrong with Thep. I mean, I was kind of hating on him earlier, but I do remember Tonto Tunt having quite the banger the last I think on match day 2, and while I agree 100% form is really important, Don Patterson wants to make sure that Krung Thep in their fourth game are maybe able to pick up 6 points and really position themselves close to the top of the table.
Yeah, and I mean 18 is more than 14. Like it's gonna maybe, take a little bit of that away. But I definitely do think form helps a lot in this.
I 100% agree. And Andre Catano, now tonight, Sorry to Patterson, out to Elliott, back tonight. Now he's going to try to find a pass in the middle. Green. And Thiel. Not to Elliott. I do remember that they do have two Elliots, which is quite interesting. But here's Elliott B.
Oh,
What a goal! Billy Elliott! 2-0 Krung Thep. Oh, but it's
oh
offside.
no. I guess so. They're not even gonna show us a replay.
Inter London
They're
saves.
not even gonna show us a replay. Shake my head.
But here's Tonto Tunt picking up really deep inside of Inter London's third. But no, it's Kronkowski. No, it's right back to Krung Thep. Out to Elliott.
Oh,
Mamba. 2-0. This one's going to count.
yeah, that surely is a goal. And this is another beautiful team play goal. And team play in the sense not just passing, but they pressed as a team, they won it back together as a team, and they attacked as a team. Beautiful team play goal right there.
Krung Thep making sure that they can position themselves. Oh, but now there's an
Oh no.
injury for Davidovich. Unfortunate for Inter London. Already starting off pretty poorly this game. But now, here comes the London super sub. What are we going to see from them?
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. I mean, it's only 29 minutes in, so pretty early for the super sub to come in. But they'll have plenty of time to, make their impact on the game.
Oh, now to Dieter. Out to Q. Oh my god,
Oh,
what a mistake. Roger,
oh,
3-0. Roger.
Roger. What a goal. Just, I don't know, man. Like,
You
should
can't be
have,
making those mistakes.
should have at least, I don't know, tried to control it first, maybe. Could have turned there, to be
100%.
honest. And I
Other than
really think,
anything but that.
yeah. Yeah, I think when some of these teams we're seeing kind of like today play from the back, and especially in the minor league, maybe they're just not good enough. It's a little tough. The players might have the skill, but maybe not the composure and the decision making. And, maybe they might lack the anticipation, or maybe your forwards lack the off-ball movement to, really move around and force the opposing defenders to.
What a goal. What a chip.
What
Kronkowski
a
making it 3-1.
wow, that was a crazy chip goal. I was not expecting that. I was like, what is he doing? What? What?
They
Oh
keep
my
going
God.
to run.
That was sick.
The keeper,
The
Gunliferson,
keeper was the keeper was just as stunned as I was. Didn't move a muscle.
caught really off guard. But here's Mamba. And then it's over the bar. But
I mean,
yeah,
this
I
is
have
the
to
first
say,
half. Yeah.
yeah, it's early days, but on top of that, I think that so much you see today in modern football is people playing out of the bag. And one, for me, just in terms of taste, I find it quite boring. You just see so much build to play, and at one point you want to turn off the TV because, what happened to direct football. But here's Van Eidenhoven. Gonna have the shot. It's
Oh,
3-2. We have a game.
we have a game. A lot of people don't like playing here, and I get that. I'm not gonna lie, as a coach, I teach my team to play from the back. And not
You
only
know,
that, but I also tend to play a lot of my best players not as strikers or as wingers, but as center backs and midfielders, like center midfielders. And I mean, the game usually the defenders and the midfielders get the ball, and they're the ones that start the attack. And if they make a lot of mistakes, they're just gonna give the other team a lot of the ball. So I understand where the whole like shift of the game went to playing from the back, but I can also understand why some fans, especially nowadays, don't quite enjoy it as much. Because it's like they made the high press, and then they countered the high press with even more sophisticated, systems of playing from the back, and it's like this like
Either wide. But yeah,
basically passing back and forth, trying to like
I
tease them
agree.
out, and then hitting that
Break
one
lines.
one ball. Yeah, it's different at a low level than at the high level, but just simply learning to play it out from the back, I think it's beautiful. It's fun to play from the back.
Oh my God, what a
Oh,
block by Neuer. I mean, jeez. But and Elliott back
crucial
into the
save.
box. Caetano, it's still 3-2. Anyone's gate. Kaufman playing
Good
away. But
tackle by
yeah,
Kaufman.
just to touch more on kind of the whole debate of what modern football is today. Oh, before that, Caetano blocked again. Green, Elliott, Elliott plays in a cross, but no, it's headed away. And here's Gronkowski. Is this the counter that we've been looking for? Is this going to make it 3-2? Out to Kaufman. Kaufman has room. But here's Green catching up. Dieter. Is he going to... No, he might put in the cross. Dieter. Kaufman. 3-3.
Oh, beautiful.
That's ridiculous. It's 3-3. Krung Thep thought that they were far and wide away from any inter-London comeback. But no, it's 3-3. And for all we know, this could become 4-3 inter-London. Although they haven't been the better side today, could find their way back in front.
It feels like the tides have turned in this match, you know. It's definitely for them, inner London, they must be, running on a high right now. Like they have come back from three, whereas, um Krung, Thep, FC, they obviously thought they had the game in the bag. And now all of a sudden they're trying to, keep on to at least 1 point.
But here's Gronkowski again. Yeah, Krung Thep really caught off guard, but here's Elliott J. I get back to the keeper. Keeper boots it long. Who's going to find their head on that? It comes out to Kane, loses the ball. Don Patterson is going to make quite the run. You have Elliott playing into the middle. But no, Tom Patterson's going to take this all himself. And instead play... Oh, my God. Tonto
Oh,
Ton almost making it 4-3. And then repositioning Krung Thep in front. But here's Don Patterson again. Krung Thep are not done. Don Patterson, but it falls to Q. Q plays it out. It's cleared away, but no, it falls right back to Thiel. Knight, is he gonna have a shot? Yes, he does. It's
oh,
4-3. Krung Thep.
and that's their first goal of the season.
What is Inter London doing? You come back 3-3 just to concede a goal that I mean is an absolute banger. But you're leaving too much space open for Krung Thep.
Actually, who was it there? That was it Bear? I saw them
I think it
actually
was Bear.
literally
Yeah,
they literally moved to open the space that was like they shot in.
100%. I think that this has to be Inter London trying to play it out from the back, and although it's very fundamental and even the fundamentals are best used sometimes. But no, Mamba.
Oh,
Oh my God, what a poor pass. That could have been easily 5-3. But Inter London, sometimes the fundamentals just don't cut it. You have to play pretty imaginative football like Crunked. But here's Don Patterson. What? A parry. Mamba makes it
oh,
5-3. What a
whoa.
goal.
What a goal. Oh my God, man. This is a game.
Banger
That
after
was
banger after banger.
was that like a half volley from outside the box?
something ridiculous like that. What is Neuer doing?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
half
half
volley from
volley.
outside the box. Oh my god, that's
That's
nasty.
ridiculous.
Mamba, holy. Mamba
You need
number
to you need
5
to
right
you
there.
need to you need to get your foot perfect on that for it to end up like that. But what is Neuer doing? And it's full time, 5-3. Thep, even though they let Inter London right back to the match, 3-3, finally put it away, 5-3.
I mean, yeah, it was like the Caapstad. Was it the Caapstad game? The Caapstad Montreal game?
Yeah,
Where it was
yeah,
like
yeah. Caapstad, yep.
Caapstad was like 3 ahead and then it was like 3-3 and then they're like, nah, it's 5-2 or something like that. Or like yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
5 yeah, it was 3-2 and then they got the 2, yeah. So yeah, no, it was like crazy game. I honestly thought Inter London were coming back to win it, and then all of a sudden it just changed again. And you can even see on the match momentum, it's like a roller coaster, going up and down. But yeah, it big 3 points for Krung Thep, and unfortunate loss for Inter London, who obviously put a lot into this game, and I do think that they did really well. Like, I mean, obviously they were outshot um, by quite a bit, but yeah, it was still a really solid game, and I think something positive can be taken away from that for sure.
100%. You want to read off the table standings?
Yeah, first place is Kaapstad with 10 points. And then we actually have a three-way tie for second. Well, I mean, it's by goal difference. So first is Montreal with 9. They're in second. Third is Paris with 9. Seoul with 9 are in fourth. And then in fifth is North Shore. Sixth is Krung Thep. Seventh is Athenai. Eighth is, sorry, Athenai also have 4 points. Krung Thep have 6. Cairo City are 8th with 3 points. Inner London are ninth with 3 points. And on 10th is Rapid Magyar Sport Club, who unfortunately have yet to register a point.
It's been a disappointing season so far for Magyar, but as they're an expansion team, you can't really expect too much. But I think overall, Capstad have really shown that they're a team not to mess with, but it's still really early days. We have 14 match days left. You have to be questioning a little bit Montreal United's tactician, which I've heard might have a little bit of a thing with an analyst at the club. Don't quote me on this. This is all part of the rumor mill, but a recent exchange between the two has me questioning things, especially being so close to the club. But overall, it's been a very fun match day. I mean, Paris as was surprisingly not at their best. Same with Montreal, but the Seoul Seven are something to be for sure talked about.
I mean, honestly, it's so exciting at the top. Kaapstad, Montreal, Paris. I guess Seoul's in it now, and then you have North Shore, and you might as well throw Krung Thep. They're only like 4 points off of first, and like 3 points off of like everyone in second. So it's actually extremely exciting. And I'm really looking forward to watching the minor league unfold.
I have to agree. Unless you have anything else, I think that this concludes the match day.
So I hope them. I'm excited to see the minor league season unfold. I don't want to see the minor league unfold. Please, please stay together. But yeah, that's all for me.
That's all for me as well. It's been a really fun match day, and thank you guys for joining us. Overall, have a great rest of your day, and this has been Max.
And Omni.